Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to be different. Now, first off, Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to have 8 to 10 seasons. I don't know about you guys, but these year-long chapters just really are not hitting for me anymore. First and foremost, I feel like if they went back to longer chapters with 8 to 10 seasons, like I said, I feel like I'd get more connected to a map. Obviously, Fortnite loves to profit off of these like OG seasons and things like that, but they're not going to be able to for much longer because these chapters are so short. And while there are some, nostalgic aspects of previous maps, it's nothing in comparison to what, Chapter 1, Chapter 2 is right now for some people. And I feel like a lot of that is due in part because of how long they were and how many changes we saw on these maps and how connected we were to certain POIs. Now, also, I feel like if Fortnite went back to making chapters longer, the quality of each individual season would increase heavily. I feel like definitely the quality of the seasons have went down in terms of changes, in terms of storyline aspects, events especially, since, we've gone into this format of having a new chapter every season. And honestly, that just might be due in part to because Fortnite has to work on a new map every single year. Like while one chapter is out, they're working on the next map. So I feel like that might kind of overwork them a little bit and make it to where the seasons aren't as high of quality and they don't actually test it as much before they put it out, which is why we could be seeing, all the nerfs that we see in Fortnite nowadays as well, which I will get into later. But first and foremost, Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to have 8 to 10 seasons and be longer than a year. Now, this is a big one. Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to have less realistic and more fun cartoony graphics. This is especially true in Chapter 5. I feel like Fortnite took this move from Chapter 4 to 5 where they wanted to make it more like realistic. And I remember one of my friends, when Chapter 5 first came out, said that it felt like Call of Duty-esque. It felt like really like they were trying to make it as real as possible, especially with the movement and everything and the mantling and stuff like that. The movement is okay, but I really want Fortnite to move back to that whole like cartoony, fun, more like vibrant and colorful atmosphere that made Fortnite what it is. So many times when you hear people about going back to Chapter 1, the number one thing that they say is, will the graphics be how they used to be? What made Fortnite so special for people was those cartoony, fun graphics, but it was in a shooter game. It was something that we really don't see very often, as most games are trying to exactly imitate reality, and in this game, that's just not what it's made for, which is what makes it so fun. So Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to have less realistic graphics. They need to move away from realism and make it more kind of like fun and loose, I guess. Now, Chapter 6 also needs to have a much more clear storyline with explanations for what's happening in the game. Now, I know this is a big topic right now about, the storyline people versus the gameplay people. I feel like all of us can coexist, at least a little bit. I just want there to be explanations for what's happening in the game. I mean, just take where we are at right now. For example, there's literally no explanation for why we went back to the Chapter 2 island. There's no reason why we're supposed to be back here. I don't know if anyone else knows what's going on. I talked about that briefly in my Chapter 2 Remix rant video. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that video. But additionally, Dr. Doom being defeated 2 seasons ago now, I guess, or last season, was very anticlimactic, and I want those things to be a little bit more dramatic. Like, that was supposed to be a big battle, and I did like the whole, like, community coming together to defeat Dr. Doom, but in my opinion, it was just kind of anticlimactic. He got defeated so easily, and this was supposed to be the biggest threat that we've seen in the game in a very long time, and it really just didn't feel like that when we defeated him. So Chapter 6 needs to have a more clear storyline with explanations for what's happening, but it also needs to be more dramatic and have more weight to it, I guess. This is another one too that a lot of people have talked about in Chapter 5 that a lot of people didn't like, and it's that Fortnite needs to keep hit scan and not go back to the projectile style bullets. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Fortnite changing that between Chapter 5 and Chapter 2 Remix was absolutely crazy to me. Like, it's been really hard for me to hit my shots, especially with snipers, just because I really don't play reload all that much. I know that that mode is hit scan, but I would just like across the board, the like way that bullets are shot, I want it to be the same across the board. I want that system to stay the same, and if they're gonna go back to projectile style bullets, then just keep it that way. Don't go back to hit scan. The main mode needs to stop changing things like that, in my opinion, because it just makes it so frustrating and it takes so long to get used to. I really don't see the point of it. I understand they want every new like chapter to feel like a completely different game to a certain extent, but I really do not like that, and it feels very, very unnecessary to me, and hit scan just makes a lot more sense. Chapter 6 also needs to see way less nerfs than it did in Chapter 5. Fortnite really nerfed just about everything fun into the ground, making it kind of pointless in my opinion, and this was especially prevalent in Season 3, where the entire point of Wrecked was for a lot of the stuff to be very overpowered. Like, the cars were supposed to be overpowered, the fists were supposed to be annoying, and even in, Chapter 5 Season 4, just last season, them getting rid of of the jetpack, it's very frustrating because it seems like Fortnite nerfs or either removes everything fun from this game, and I really don't want that to continue happening in Chapter 6. This is a huge one for me because I've been so frustrated with the map in Chapter 2 Remix. Chapter 6 needs to continue having small to medium-sized maps. I cannot tell you that if anything has been realized in Remix for me, it's that big maps are not the move for Fortnite, and honestly, they make the game so much more boring and take way too long. Like, I feel like my games take forever. Like, I'll fight a lot of people in the beginning because, you know, you're landing at landmarks and everything, but then after that, I feel like a lot of times I don't see anybody in the game until the last like 10 to 5 people. It's really, really frustrating, and I want Fortnite to make sure that they realize that, because that was also a problem back in the original Chapter 2. So in Chapter 6, I want them to have a small to medium-sized map for sure, so that there's action throughout the entire game and it's not so lopsided. Chapter 6, above all, needs more innovative season themes. I feel like Fortnite season themes have kind of gotten, you know, stagnant in my opinion. Like, it's not anything like crazy that we really haven't seen before. Like, obviously we haven't seen like a season like, you know, Wrecked before, or like, you know, the Greek gods and things like that. That stuff was really cool, but I feel like it just needs a little bit more. I want it to go beyond just the Fortnite map. Something, for example, like have us going to like different planets or something like that. Fortnite has done stuff before to where you'll get like beamed into a like an alien spaceship in Chapter 2 Season 7, and you'll play like mini games and stuff like that for good weapons. And you know, the Fall Guys stuff. I just want more innovative stuff like that that actually really affects gameplay. That has just been very, very lacking in Fortnite, and I really want them to go with something that really stirs the pot in terms of themes. It's something completely foreign that we have never seen before. I want something like monumental in Chapter 6. And then finally, Fortnite Chapter 6 needs to have bigger, more important events. Now, I understand that Fortnite is kind of moving away from this with the mini events that we've had, and those are still kind of hype, but I really do miss the giant season-ending events that we used to have. You know, things like the Monster versus Mech and the Unvaulting event with the volcano destroying, you know, Tilted Towers and Retail Road. Like, stuff like that was game-changing and made the next season so much more hype, in my opinion. I mean, it's awesome, you know, that we've had these mini events in Chapter 5, but all of them kind of involved Pandora's Box. I mean, I know the rig exploding was really big before Season 4, but nothing really super, like, crazy happened out of that. Like, Pandora's Box was just kind of revealed, and that's all that happened. I just want more, you know, events that are bigger and they have more implication on the next season. But that is all that I have for how Chapter 6 needs to be different. Let me know what you guys think. What types of things do you want to see in Chapter 6? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, use code Prozeroyt, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.